Welcome back. It's Breakfast Daily on CCTV. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, we are less than 2 weeks away from Christmas, and today's consumer tech segment will be exploring gift ideas for men for Christmas. Yes, men like gifts too, so we need to get them gifts this Christmas. I have been joined by Philip Kofi Ashon, host of City Trends and head of production here at CCTV. Good morning.
Finally,
Phil.
someone who agrees.
Someone
like
who
agrees.
But
that
you guys
also,
act like you don't like gifts.
We don't
want to be left alone to play.
It has been assumed that we don't like gifts. And the natural position was to, and I mean, hopefully next week we'll be able to explore some of the gift ideas for women.
Oh,
but
yes.
I just wanted
and I'm sure the list will be longer.
much longer. I just wanted to start off with the gift ideas for guys because there are a couple of things that guys really, really like. They might not tell you they like, but when they go out to a party or they go out with friends to the beach and they see someone using a device, they won't tell you, but you can see the jealousy in their eyes about how much of a device that they want. And I just picked up a couple of devices that we have sort of had an interaction with over the course of the year.
Nice.
And just wanting to give you an idea of some of the things that your male friends or your partners might like. The very first one, and there are a number of tablets that we'll be looking at today. The very first one is a Tab S6 or the Galaxy Tab S6 from Samsung. I personally like it because it comes at a great price point. It looks beautiful, as you can see on the screen there. That is a Tab S6.
Gorgeous.
It comes with a stylus, a really interesting looking stylus. And even the positioning of the stylus for me was very interesting. So there is a little space at the back of the tablet where you can just magnetically position the S Pen. So basically, I like this device because, of course, it runs on Android. And so you have, a number of things you can run on it. All your Android apps can run on it. And it comes with an internal memory of 128 or 256 per your choice. And you can add on extra space up to 512 gigs. So you basically have a lot of space to work with. It's great for multitasking, as you can see there, because of the amount of power that you have running both the GPU and the RAM and everything else. It's a very, very good device. And that's the S Pen, the all-new S Pen there. Basically, you can run gestures. You remember with the the Note 10 Plus, where you could take selfies with it and you could do all these wavy things and these gestures and everything. All of it is still available. You have 15 hours of battery power on
15 hours.
Yeah, 15 hours of battery power. And the fact that it even comes with the keyboard and everything almost makes it feel like a laptop almost. There are just a few restrictions, of course. For example, it doesn't have like a typical USB port that you would have on a laptop and stuff like that. But this is a very, very good device. And any guy who you get this for will really, really appreciate it because, I'm guessing that these are progressive people who want to be on the move, who want to get work done. This is a sort of device that quite a number of guys will really appreciate because of, number one, it is really, really light. It's powerful. You get great battery power on it. And it kind of makes them look cool.
How much is it,
let's just say, it kind of makes them look cool. So, you can visit any other Samsung offices to purchase because I know they'll be running a number of promos and stuff like that through the Christmas period. So, visit any of the Samsung offices and you should be able to get your hands on one. Just request for one and I'm sure you'll be able to get one. So that is the very first one that I wanted to highlight. The second one is also a tablet, but it is an iPad Pro. Now we know that
iPad Pro.
Yeah, we know that we have quite a number of things. We have the iPad Pro, we have the iPad, we have the iPad Mini, and all of that, as you can see at the top of your screen there. But the iPad Pro is the new member of the family, and that is the very first item you can see that comes with a magic, a keyboard and everything. But what I like about the iPad Pro is that it is built to replace a laptop. That is one of the things that really gets to me about it. You obviously have the iPad Air there, as you can see, and you have the everyday iPad that everybody knows, the ever popular one. But for me, the one that I would really recommend that you get, and of course we have the iPad mini for those who, prefer, the little cute miniature size iPad. But I mean, you have all of them there, the iPad Pro, the iPad Air, the iPad, and the iPad mini. Those are the options available. But I mean, if you really want to surprise your male colleague or your male friend or your partner, I would suggest that you probably look into getting them an iPad Pro.
Nice.
Like, it sets them apart from everybody else.
Ooh.
Everybody else who has any tablet, the iPad Pro would, once they take it out of their bag or they start using it in any shape, way, or form, everybody knows that they belong to a different class and community. So
like they're unique.
They're unique completely. So yeah, I mean, there are other iPads available, like the iPad Air, the iPad, and the iPad Mini. But for me, I think that if you're looking for a gift option, do look at getting your partner the iPad Pro. Like, it's that awesome.
What's so unique? Well, aside the
First
fact
of all,
that
the
it's called an
size. The size is one of the biggest things. The fact that it works so well with the Apple Pencil, the fact that it comes with the keyboard as well. It runs literally as a laptop. Wow. There are so many things you can do on a laptop that you can't do on some tablets. Yeah. But this allows you to do that. And you are working within the Apple ecosystem, so it kind of helps. Wow. All these apps. And it has its own operating system as well. But once you buy it, you'll be able to understand it better. But hey, this is a very, very good present if you're thinking about one. Especially if your partner has taste.
And it's a little bougie.
And and he already has a slew of iOS devices. This is like
the best.
Like, trust me, waking up on Christmas morning and seeing an iPad Pro on
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus is my favorite. You're done for the next 5 years. So yeah, that is a viable product. The next one that I want us to look at is also a tablet from, in case you're looking for other options. And quite frankly, the Surface Pro 6 for me is the Surface Pro 6. I think for me is one of the best options in terms of a hybrid tablet. Personally, that's what I feel.
Okay.
I think that it's a very, very good device because it not only...
Is this a Samsung device?
No, it's a Windows. Windows Surface Pro 6.
Got to catch up with my brands.
Like, I like it because it acts almost as if it was a laptop.
Wow.
Because it has a USB input.
Nice.
It has all these other inputs that typically you would find on your laptop.
Most pads don't have
Most pads don't have that.
USB.
I mean, what now you have is, for example, the iPad allowing you to connect removable drives and things like that.
Nice.
I think you can do something same, but it has to be connected by USB-C or Lightning.
But this one you don't
or something
need all
like
that.
This one is like a typical USB pen drive-ish, and I mean, that's it. It's really, really that simple. That's it. That is the Surface Pro 6. It's always come with all these the pens and everything else, the styluses and everything else. And those are the different modes you can use. You can use it in the laptop mode. You can use it in the studio mode. You can use it in the tablet mode, where you basically take off the keyboard and then you just run with it. And it works very well. I mean,
you don't. It's like a thinner version of a laptop.
Exactly. You don't need to have any extras attached to it. Basically, everything comes together in that little form factor.
And you can get your own colors.
You can choose the colors that you want. I mean, but of course, you need to make sure you're buying from, a legit institution when you're getting
it. Them directly if you can.
Online, you can easily do that. You can easily purchase it online, but
you don't want to get home and it's key soap in your box.
You don't want to experience that. But I mean, for me, those 3 tablets, if you're looking for anything that takes care of mobility and efficiency as well, those 3 tablets for me are the best ones you can find on the market. I lean a lot more towards the Surface Pro just because it has a very good track record in terms of what it provides and the options it provides in terms of input and output. But hey, depending on what you typically do.
What do you mean by input and output?
So, for example, all this whole USB-C, USB inputs and things like that, it's very, very convenient. SD card input, it's very, very convenient for the person who's on the go. So I think that I personally lean towards that because of the sort of work that I do. But hey, depending on the person you're buying it for, you have the choice of a Tab S6, you have the option of an iPad Pro, and you have an option of a Surface Pro 6. And I mean, all these are available for you to try out and use. Now, moving away from the tablets, one of the things that guys really, really like, that they see people using, but I'm not really sure if it's for them, is a drone.
Drone?
Everybody wants to get into the drone conversation.
Really?
Yeah, like when guys go for, like, they go hiking in the mountains, or they go jogging, for example, and they want to show, like, this is where we are. Well, if you don't have too much money to spend, but still want to play around, still looking cool, like everybody yanks out, this is drone a very good drone for you to explore.
Okay.
It won't cost you too much, but it will still give you some pretty good work. It's called the DJI Spark, or it's just called the Spark generally. It's made by the company DJI, who also make a lot of gimbals and a lot of drone.
Nice. So if you don't have any experience, hardware, you can still use it.
A lot of it is very, very easy for you to use. You would need a bit of practice, but it's normal with virtually every single device. But I like the Spark because it's so small, it's so efficient. You can see there how easy it is to use. A lot of the modes are automated. Wow. If you want to take a selfie, for example, like the whole family.
Great, especially if you're planning a family vacation, and you want to put your husband to work. You just give this to him as a Christmas gift, and he'll just getting shots of the entire thing while you guys are having fun.
It won't be a work for him.
He
will enjoy the process of just creating all these really cool videos. And for me personally, I just think that for guys who want to explore, who want to take their families out for weekends, who just even want to sometimes just try new hobbies, this is a very good hobby to have. And because it doesn't cost so much, you shouldn't be too worried if he crashes it a couple of times. But you get used to it. At least it's better getting this one for him to crash it than getting like an ultra expensive one. But this works. It's small, it's portable, it's very easy to understand and very easy to use. Nice. So if you are thinking about getting your man or your boyfriend or your brother your dad, a drone or something, the DJI Spark, I think, is a very good option. Comes at a very good price point and works a wonder.
Nice.
One other device that I wanted people to consider was the smartwatch.
Smartwatch?
Yes. We've reviewed a number of smartwatches over the course of the year. But one that really, really impresses me is the Apple Watch Series 5.
I think I want the pink one, even though we're talking about men today.
the series, and this specifically, of course, for people who use iPhones. Because if you don't have an iPhone, it's kind of a disincentive. Yeah. But if you have an iPhone, if you have a partner, a boyfriend, a brother who has an iPhone and you want to get him a smartwatch, my suggestion is that get them the Apple Series 5. Nice. There's not much of a difference between the Series 4 and the Series 5. Okay. But the Series 5 is new.
It's cute.
And of course, it comes with always on display. You have everything from your heartbeat or a heart rate monitor.
Wow.
Your ECG monitor. Like, everything is packed in there to give you a very, very good. Aww. And the good thing about, and one of the reasons why I personally like this particular one is because it doesn't look like you would need to have an extra watch on. Yeah. Because it is already a functional watch. A lot of these smartwatches look like an add-on. They look like you have to put it on and then put your watch on. Yeah. And sometimes people just don't want to go through that stress. When you have this, it looks like a watch in itself. And it's kind of cooler than an average watch anyway. Because you can pick your phone calls on it. You can see...
It is way cooler than an average watch.
You can see all your notifications, everything else on it. And it has a much improved battery life as well compared to the Series 4. So if you are considering, and especially if the person you're buying it for is a fan of Apple devices, I would suggest that you get like a Series 5. But if the budget is a problem, please just go for the Series 4.
Call it a day.
The two of them are virtually the same. The main difference between the Series 5 and the Series 4 is the always on display on the Series 5. But hey, Samsung has a couple of smartwatches you could consider. Well. Huawei also has a couple of them that you should consider.
So if they're a Samsung freak, then get them the Samsung one.
Just get the Samsung one. If the Huawei person, get them a Huawei one.
If they have iOS, then
but if they have an iOS. And quite frankly, this is the market leader in terms of smartwatches globally. Yeah. Like, there's no question about it. So, it's great to have. But hey, if you have the money to spend, you can buy this one and add the watch.
It's so beautiful.
You can buy the watch and buy the phone. It's
buy the whole thing. Buy the iPad, buy the watch,
buy everything, buy the whole pack for that member of your family.
He'll be happy forever.
He will love you forever. The final product that I want us to look at is the Hero 8.
Okay.
The Hero 8 is a nifty little device that allows you to record everything from pictures to video to anything else without necessarily carrying such a big device. It's a GoPro.
Oh.
Hero 8 is the new GoPro.
Nice.
The new model of the GoPro that has been released. It's black, and I love the fact that it's black as well.
I mean, black is beautiful.
If you know what a GoPro does, and I'm guessing that if you have someone who has been talking about it in the family for a while, you would know why they would like it. That is the Hero 8. It's the latest in the range from in terms of GoPros, and basically allows you to do so much. There's crazy image optimization, stabilization on this particular one.
Wow.
It is really, really, really awesome. It's really, really tough as well. It has a flip screen, as you saw there, so you could. I mean, look, it is really worth having.
The ultimate.
It is really, really worth
Christmas
having.
gift.
Like, if you are the sort of people who enjoy going out,
climbing mountains,
even if like you're going for some of the concerts, December to Remember, and you want to capture video, like very good video, by the way. It records like very, very good video to the point of 4K and everything else. You want to take like hyperlapse videos and things like that. You want to do all of these things, but you don't want to carry a huge camera with you, or you don't want to lose your phone while you're there. Carry this along.
Wow.
It records everything you want it to record. It gives you some great battery life as well. It has great image stabilization, so your footage comes out looking really, really good. And quite frankly, it's kind of cool when you look at it. That little nifty device, they're giving you everything else.
Wow.
I mean, there's very little to say. These are just some of the
things
that I think you should consider when you're buying. So there you see it in motion, the hyper smooth option.
Wow.
It makes the footage so much more smoother when using it. And all of this is recorded, so you can see when the hyper smooth is off as compared to the hyper smooth being on. Basically gives you some very, very smooth footage. So look,
beautiful.
If your person is, into gadgets and they don't have any of these already, I would really suggest that you look into these because they're kind of cool. And it just gives him that extra thing to brag about. Like, yo, listen, like I woke up on Christmas morning and I had a Hero 8 on my bed. Like, oh my God. Look, the options are there. You can explore them. There are a number of other things. And next week we'll be looking at gift options for
the ladies. I mean,
that will be very interesting. We'll have a lot more to share. We obviously understand the restrictions or the areas within which to work with, but the devices that I've talked about today, the Tab 6, the Surface Pro 6, the iPad Pro, the Series 5, of course, the Hero 8, and then the Apple Watch Series 5. I think these are really, really cool if you are thinking, and of course the DJI Spark, which is a drone. I think these are really, really cool options if you're looking for gift options for that person who's close to you.
I'm thinking of a gift for a special friend of mine. I think I'll do the Hero.
I can't wait. I hope it's me. I hope it is me.
Thank you so much, Philip Kofi Ashon. What did we miss last night?
So last night we continued with our Techpreneurs Month. We had 5 technology entrepreneurs.
Wow.
We had one who was looking at making financials much easier for small and medium scale enterprise, and actually made an announcement yesterday, the first time mentioned anywhere. So you know how credit score systems work. So what they're trying to do is when you use the app to monitor your financials, they have collaborated with another financial institution, and based on how you use the app and how your financials go, you can use that database over a 3-month period
as a credit score.
Wow. And basically be eligible to receive a loan.
That's amazing.
Exactly. And I was really, really excited about what 2020 holds, especially from everybody who was there yesterday. So, I mean, that was Oze. Oze was the app, the Oze app. You can check it out. It's basically just managing your finances. We have Find Rapidly, who were there yesterday as well with Rebecca. Now, you want a handyman, you want someone to come and paint, you want someone to come and do something in your house. You don't really know where they are.
To find them.
You don't know whether they are credible.
Or they will take your stuff away.
Find Rapidly basically is just a platform. You go there, you request for a painter, you request for a plumber, and you will get a number of them. You choose the one that you want. Wow. Now, the really cool thing is, when the handyman comes over to do the job, they don't get paid until you're basically you are satisfied with the work that they are doing before the handyman gets paid. So in a case where the handyman comes, does a shoddy job and just goes away, they never get paid.
Wow.
It's so simple when you think about it.
Customer service.
Really good customer service.
Wow.
Then we had Superfluid Labs also come through yesterday with Winifred, talking about how they use artificial intelligence to basically optimize people's businesses. Wow. So a lot of people collect all this data. People come into their offices, they write their names and everything, but they don't really know what to do with the data.
Yeah.
And what Superfluid Labs does is they take all of this data and help you make decisions about your customers so you can serve them better. Then, of course, Cecil was there as well from eCampus.
Can't forget Cecil.
You can't escape Cecil. And one of the things that he talked about was his AI option as well, where what he's saying is, so you go into a classroom and a teacher is there. The teacher has to battle with grading students, marking. Sometimes the marking takes them into the next term and everything else. What if, as a teacher, at the end of every week, you could know into detail which students are performing well on which subjects you're teaching? So, for example, let's say it's just math. You will be able to understand which students are performing well in subtraction, in addition, in long division. You can have that breakdown just by the students interacting with a platform.
Nice.
And that is what eCampus is trying to do. I mean, that for me was pretty cool. Then finally we had Joseph, who runs a tech blog. Information about technology, events, and everything else happening in Ghana is so difficult to come by. And for me, who runs a show like that, trust me, I know how difficult it is. And for someone like Joseph to be able to set himself, and he runs all of this mostly by himself. He covers the events, he does the reviews, all of this by himself. And I just felt that bringing all these personalities together was just magic yesterday.
Where can we catch City Trends?
Yes, so City Trends Tuesdays, 7 p.m. on City FM. But the podcast will be available today at 10 a.m., so please look out for that.
Yes,
right after
the
Breakfast
show.
Daily.
Exactly.
Just make sure you head on to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, whichever one, Spotify, and look out for the podcast. It will be there for you to listen.
Thank you so much, Philip Kofi Ashon. And I hope you found something that you get that lovely man in your life for Christmas. Men do love gifts, okay? Let's quit it with the whole I'm here and I'm the gift. Let's stop. Let's be innovative this year. Don't go anywhere. Let's take a look at our entertainment highlights and then continue the show.